This video, let's build a very simple Minecraft Bedrock 1.19 passive mob farm. This passive mob farm will produce a lot of different items, including all kinds of already cooked meat, wool of any kind, leather and feathers. These are all the items you're gonna need to build this farm. You will need about 15 stacks of solid blocks. If you want, you can make a screenshot right now. To prepare your build, you first want to find a plains biome that should look something like this. Should not have any forest on it because this isn't a plains biome, and this area should be at least this size, 20 by 20. And then what you want to do is to come to the relative middle of this area and you want to first stack up 150 blocks. If you have any big mountains or hills in the area around, then you want to start on top of these mountains. To make everything easy, as you can see now, my Y coordinate is 69, nice. And then just add 150 to this amount and we are at 219, and this is the Y coordinate you want to end up being. If you want, you can use scaffoldings for this pillar or just place ladders at the side of the blocks. I recommend going up like this, so you want to place a block, then place a ladder at the side, place a block, ladder, block and so on. As you can see now, I'm at Y219, of course the height changes for everybody. And now what you want to do is to turn to one side, place 2 blocks and then go to the other side and place 1 block there, so you have a row out of 4 solid blocks. Then you want to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks and you want to fill in this rectangle. You then should end up having a 4 by 6 platform that looks like this out of full solid blocks. Then you want to count down 1, 2 blocks and place a double chest at the 3rd block right in the middle, so you have 1 block at each side left. Then go behind and just place 4 hoppers that all should link to each other and to the chest. Check by just throwing an item in the hopper, then as you can see it is in the large chest, so you made everything correctly. Now surround the whole thing with 1 layer of blocks like this. Now you want to add 3 more layers to this wall, so just go up by 3 and then take the whole thing around. But of course you want to leave open the blocks above the chest, and there is where you want to place 4 blocks of glass like this and then add 2 more blocks like that. So now you should have a wall that is 4 blocks high all around your killing chamber. Inside the killing chamber you now want to go ahead and place 4 campfires that will end up killing all the passive mobs that will land in this cage. Now from each side you want to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. Of course, do this thing on all 4 sides. Now you should have a shape that looks something like this out of solid blocks. Next you want to connect all of these 4 arms. After doing this you want to fill in this entire platform so that you have a full square. To doing this you should have a nice square with the size 20 by 20 and you should have a 2 by 2 hole in the middle. At this hole we now want to go ahead, take out our magma blocks, and then you want to destroy the inner circle or inner square of blocks and you want to replace it with magma blocks. This will give our passive mobs some extra damage so that they die faster. I know it sounds horrible, but it has to be like this. I know it is a cruelty to build a farm like this, but in the end it will give you some nice items for your survival world. So if it does help you, then I'd appreciate a subscription from you. Thanks at this point, and let's continue. As the next step, you want to come to the end of your platform and then you want to place 1 layer of blocks all the way around. After doing this, you should have a wall that is 1 block high all the way around our platform. On top of this wall, we now want to place a layer of stairs. You want to make sure that they all connect to each other and look like this in the corners. Of course, we want to fill them all with water. In order to do this, we have to create an infinite source of water. You can do this outside of the whole thing like this. You just want to have a 2 by 2 square where you can place 2 blocks of water inside, and then you just can take it infinitely out of this source. And then you can just go ahead and just fill in every stair by stair, step by step. Now if you made everything correctly, you should have the inner ring empty where our magma blocks are. In order to change that, you want to just go ahead and place one layer of blocks all the way around below our water sources, so looking like this. After finishing this very important step, you should now have a perfect water stream that ends where the hole begins. Of course, at this point we don't need our infinite water source anymore. You can just go ahead and destroy it. Now you want to come to the corner and count down 1, so the stair, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and there you want to place and stack up 3 blocks looking like this. On top of that you want to place a grass block. Then you can destroy the 3 solid blocks below. Now you want to go ahead and place 2 solid blocks, then a grass block, 2 solid blocks, 1 more glass block, 2 solid blocks, grass, 2 solid, grass, and finally 2 solid and a grass. You should now be at the same relative position as you were before, so 1 block away from the corner like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the very corner. Now you just want to extend this grass block out to the next corner, and you want to be above the same relative spot as you were with the corners before, so 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. And then you just want to repeat the same thing at all other grass blocks, so just extend it out to this limit. After doing this, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows out of grass blocks. By the way, it is very important that you have grass. Dirt will not work, because passive mobs only spawn on top of grass. Then you want to connect the ends of these grass rows by just placing 2 grass blocks in between of all of these. Then just count down 1, 2 blocks, and at the third you just want to do the same thing, so connect all the lines with grass blocks. All of these holes should now have the size 2 by 2, and you just want to repeat the same thing again, so 1, 2, 3. Then you want to place a row out of grass, and you just want to repeat this all the way until you are at the end. Now we have these solid blocks right here that we used in the beginning, and we want to swap them out to normal grass blocks. Now you should have this exact shape of grass blocks, and our final step is to go all the way around with trapdoors, and you want to flick all of them as well. Of course you want to do this on all 4 sides. And of course you want to flick all of them so that mobs can walk off this platform. At this point we aren't finished with the trapdoor thing, we just want to cover these holes with trapdoors again, so place 2 of them at this side and 2 of them at that side, and then flick all of them. It should look like this, and you want to repeat the same thing for every hole. We do this for the same reason as we did with the other trapdoors around the platform, because then mobs will spawn and will walk off the platform into our water stream. Of course, it is very important that you place them at the upper side of the block and not at this side of the block, because then mobs won't see it as a block that is at the side of the grass and won't walk off the platform. After finishing this step, I recommend checking if you have trapdoors at every spot that they belong to, because this can break your farm if you haven't done it completely. Now, after finishing off our building, there are still 2 steps left that are very important in order for the farm to work properly. And the first step is lighting our farm up. This is very important because otherwise normal, so aggressive mobs can spawn on top of this platform, and this will ruin your raids and will maybe as well kill you, and we don't want to have this happening. So make sure that you cover the whole thing with lights. And the second step for the farm in order to work properly is our AFK spot. In order to do this, you want to come to this side where the loot treasure chest is, and you want to come to the block where our ladder is. You want to come to the block beside and then extend out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30, 31, 32 blocks in one direction. And as you can see, we should be that far away from our farm. There you can just build yourself an AFK spot, maybe with a door and, very important, a roof, so that phantoms can spawn. And of course you want to light up this row of blocks as well. At this point you're finally finished with building the whole farm. In order to use this whole thing in survival mode, you want to go to your AFK spot and then just stand there for as long as you want. The longer you wait, the more items you'll get, of course. As you can see, there are already some mobs spawning. There you can see a pig. And now I'm going to be AFKing for 10 minutes exactly, and then I'm going to be showing you these results. So now after 10 minutes, let's see our results. Oh, there are some sheep spawning, so a very good sign. And now at this point, we got 24 cooked mutton, 26 cooked pork chop, 17 cooked beef, some cooked chicken as well, some good amounts of leather, some good amounts of every kind basically of wool. And all in all, I think for 10 minutes, these are pretty good results. Of course, for 1 hour, just multiply all of these amounts by 6. So for example, you get more than 6 stacks of all kinds of meat, about 1.5 stacks of wool, more than a stack of leather, and more than half a stack of feathers. At this point, I hope I helped you with this farm tutorial and it helped you to get a good amount of passive mob loot in your survival world. If it did, then please don't forget to subscribe. This is very, very important for me and would help me a ton. Also, you can share it with your friends if this helps them. Also, if you want to get in contact with me, always check out my Discord server. Link to this is in the video description. And then we see us again in the next video. See ya!